reminds us there's good in the world. The thing that reminds us there's still something out there worth fighting for. 'Cause it feels like the world has gone crazy, spinning faster and cheaper than ever before. And it feels like there's nobody giving a damn, and it's getting worse. Ooh, let it be something wonderful. Ooh, let it be something beautiful. Please let me make something beautiful. A thing that reminds us there's good in the world.
Good evening. Welcome to White Bear UU Church. We are a people gathered together tonight with courage, reverence, and compassion to celebrate the winter solstice, the longest night and the shortest day. We're honoring our own pagan roots and the earth-centered traditions that have guided us and our ancestors. I'm Reverend Jack, and my pronouns are he, him. Tonight is a night rich with rituals, and we are incorporating a few embodied practices into our service tonight. We often also have an outdoor ritual as part of the service, but we're doing that portion inside tonight for accessibility reasons. After the service, we'll still be sharing some hot apple cider and treats, and we'll also be lighting a bonfire for those that want to enjoy this mild winter evening. We'll mingle together after the service for a bit over in the alcove area before heading home into this long night in all of its dark beauty. Welcome to our church. Together we grow our souls and serve the world.
Good evening. I'm Katie Barrett-Wick, and my pronouns are she, her. Our chalice lighting reading today is called The Longest Night, a Solstice Meditation by Andrea Hawkins Camper. The winter solstice is a time to look back upon our ancestors, gather our family and friends close, and rejoice in the return of the sun. It is a time of renewed hope and a time of resurrection. For just as Aaron Rod's wheel turns and the Oak King resumes his rightful place, so must we go on. On that night, the long dark reaches its zenith, and for the briefest of moments, it will seem as if the Holly King's reign will be eternal. On that night of the longest dark, we light a gifted log of flame, remember the ancestors, and tell stories that bind us together as a people. Let us gather and sing songs of our childhood, sing songs of our parents and of our children, of our friends and our families. Let us gather, huddle close, and light the log of community. Let us feast and revel, and let us always remember there is hope for the coming year.
Our story this evening is called Life Itself. It was written by a member right here in this church, Kristen Mayer. Thanks for her permission to use this story tonight. The story does involve some audience participation, so if you have some keys or jingle bells handy, please get them ready. There'll be a point in the story that talks about icicles, and whenever I mention icicles, that's your key to jingle your keys or bells. Okay, let's practice. Icicles. Great work, great work. Okay, here's the story. Long ago, the land of the north was filled with wise old trees. Trees were mighty and tall. Their wide leaves stayed green all year long. Every morning, life itself, a fiery orb, rose into the sky. Life itself, a smile upon the trees, giving them warmth and light. The trees smiled upon the humans, giving them wood and fruit. The humans smiled upon each other, sharing what they had. But one day, life itself was called to the lands of the south, for it was needed there. Before it left, it spoke, "Do not fret, my friend. Darkness will watch over you while I am gone. Remember this promise. Life itself returns. Life itself always returns." With that, life itself turned and moved for the south. Darkness moved in just as it had promised. Though the air grew colder, the humans didn't worry, at least not at first. One being living among the humans was fear. Fear had always been present, quiet, softly whispering, "Careful of the fire, keep your children close." Now that life itself moved further south and darkness was watching the humans more often, fear began to speak more plainly. "Beware of your neighbor." And humans began to listen and worry. "Where is life itself?" they cried. "Why did it leave us alone?" The trees, seeing their worry, called out, "Remember the promise. Life itself returns. Life itself always returns." The trees saw that humans were still afraid, so they called out to darkness. As darkness moved among them, their leaves of green turned to yellow, orange, and red. Surrounded by color, the humans forgot about their worries and smiled upon one another again. Fear, however, continued to speak. "It's getting colder. Will there be enough firewood? Surely you'll freeze while all your neighbors stay warm and toasty." The humans began to worry again. They began to cut down branch after branch and even whole trees. "Wait," said the trees. "You need only ask, and we will cover you." The trees called to darkness again. As darkness moved among their branches, the leaves began to fall. A warm blanket of yellow, orange, and red covered the ground, and as far as they could see, the trees spoke. "Remember the promise. Life itself returns. Life itself always returns." The humans, toasty and warm, smiled upon one another once again. Fear, however, continued to speak louder and louder. "There is not enough fruit for everyone. Take what your family needs before others will." Soon, human began to fear human. They started a fight over the fruit, taking more than they needed, more than they even wanted, until others had none. The trees looked down upon the chaos and hatred. They did not smile. They could only weep. Big, wet tears rolled down their bare branches. In the cold air of darkness, those tears froze into tiny needles of ice. Thousands of little icicles rang out into the wind of darkness, filling the cold air with sound. Far away, life itself heard the soft ringing of icicles in the breeze and knew that the trees had been weeping. Life itself turned for the north and reached out. Warmth and love filled those trees, melting the thousands of icicles. And after they melted, in their place was left lush green needles of life. The humans stretched out their hands. As they touched the green needles, they remembered the promise. Life itself returns. Life itself always returns. Once again, life itself smiled upon the trees, giving them warmth and light. The trees smiled upon the humans, giving them wood and fruit. The humans smiled upon each other, sharing what they had, and rejoicing at the return of life itself. As time passed, life itself would be called again and again and again to watch over the South. But this time, darkness was greeted as an old friend. But the humans learned to find the light, even in the darkest of days. And fear was kept to a whisper, as it should be. Will you join me in singing the Solstice song tonight? The lyrics are printed on your song sheet, are also in the Zoom chat box. Please rise, embody your spirit. Darkest utmost when the chill of winter creeps within, our beings long for friendly light, our hopes hold hope of spring. Sunlight, moonlight, starlight, clear light, fill our minds with purest light, this dark and wintry night. Sunlight, moonlight, starlight, love light, fill our hearts with radiant light, this dark and wintry night. As our earth encircling orbit moves, turning moons glow into sun-filled day, may our pole star be the light of truth to guide us on our way. Sunlight, moonlight, starlight, clear light, fill our minds with purest light, this dark and wintry night. Sunlight, moonlight, starlight, love light, fill our hearts with radiant light, this dark and wintry night.
Our reading this evening is from Valerie Kaur, author of Revolutionary Love. She was speaking during the New Year's Eve watch party in 2016, hosted by the Poor People's Campaign. For those of you that can remember December of 2016, take a breath and remember back to that time. Let's hear her words again, 7 years later. Yes, Rabbi, the future is dark on this New Year's Eve, this watch night. I close my eyes and I see the darkness of my grandfather's cell, and I can feel the spirit of ever-rising optimism in the Sikh tradition within him. And so the mother in me asks, what if this darkness is not the darkness of the tomb, but the darkness of the womb? What if our America is not dead, but a country that is waiting to be born? What if the story of America is one long labor? What if all of our grandfathers and grandmothers are standing behind us now, those who survived occupation and genocide, slavery and Jim Crow, detentions and political assault? What if they are whispering in our ear today, tonight, you are brave? What if this is our nation's great transition? What does the midwife tell us to do? Breathe and then push. Because if we don't push, we will die. If we don't push, our nation will die. Tonight, we will breathe. Tomorrow, we will labor in love, through love, and your revolutionary love is the magic we will show our children.
Tonight, we'll be given the opportunity to engage with the four elements, and we also have the labyrinth set up in the social hall. During our winter solstice ritual, we call on the four directions. Each of the directions represents a different element. North is earth, east is air, south is fire, and west is water. We also call on the center, which represents the spirit. It is often presented in pagan circles with representations of the goddess, and it relates to one's connections to the divine, to dream work, and to the inner self. Tonight, we're going to spend some time engaging with the elements and with the center. There are 4 stations set up here in the sanctuary around our circle tonight, one in each cardinal direction. For the next 10 minutes, we're going to spend some time just engaging with these stations. This is a choose your own adventure journey, and you get to be the arbiter of your destiny. Let this be an embodied practice, and feel free to use all of your senses. In the north, we have a station honoring the elements of the earth. There you'll find rocks and twigs, pine cones and leaves, and plants in soil. You'll also find other things too. Take some time there if you want to connect to earth. In the east, we have a station honoring the element of air. There you'll find wind chimes for you to ring and essential oils to smell. You'll find a fan moving around the air. Take some time there if you want to connect with air. In the south, we have a station honoring the element of fire. There you'll find candles, some lit, some unlit. Stare at the flame or light another candle. Feel its warmth. Take some time there if you want to connect to fire. In the west, we have a station honoring the elements of water. There you'll find multiple cups and bowls of water. Touch the water, watch it ripple, dip your finger into the water and touch your water to your temples or your hands. Take some time there if you want to connect to water. In the center, we also have soul cards. Take your time there if you want to pull a card and engage with that practice. Otherwise, we also have the social hall set up for the labyrinth. You'll find candles leading your path all the way around the labyrinth. Feel free to walk it at the pace that feels right for you. Focus on your breath and your movement and find your center. Connect to your inner self, to your interiority. Take some time wherever you need to be for about 10 minutes, and I'll bring you back with the ringing of the singing bowl. In just a few moments, we're going to hold silence and stillness together in the darkness for 7 minutes. We're turning off the lights in this space and sitting together, dwelling on what is in store for us in the darkness. You have some reflection questions listed in your order of service tonight, and those are for you. Please don't view them as an assignment, but rather as an invitation. I'll read them now. What winter solstice rituals do you have or want to create? What is your connection to earth-centered traditions? How do you hope to deepen that connection? Do you feel like something is in store for you in this season of darkness? And lastly, Valerie Kaur contrasts the darkness of the tomb with the darkness of the womb. How does this contrast land with you today? And what possibilities await you in the darkness of the womb? Which question or questions are calling to you at this moment? To what will you turn your attention during these next 7 minutes? Before we enter that time of stillness, let's do a simple meditation of embodiment. Find a comfortable seat, close your eyes if that's comfortable for you, and let's do a simple body scan. Where do you feel tightness or tension? Where do you feel openness? Do you feel pain or strength? How can you notice these feelings without jumping to judgment or conclusions? Just sit for a moment with what is alive and true in your own body. Starting with the very bottoms of your feet, bring your attention there. Feel their connection to the earth. Feel the strength in your feet. Feel gratitude for how much weight they hold and how they keep you connected to the earth and grounded. Bring your attention to your legs. Notice their strength and their agility, their ability to bend and hop and run and walk. Feel gratitude for how far they have carried you today, this year, this lifetime. Bring your attention to your torso, your core, your center, the fire in your belly. Notice its softness, notice its strength, notice how tender it is and how crucial the organs inside it are. Feel gratitude for your stomach and your digestive system, how much work they do, often unseen and rarely considered. Bring your attention to your heart, your lungs. Notice the blood pumping through your body, a body that is also filled with water, liquids moving inside of us, sustaining us, the air moving inside our lungs, bringing oxygen to our blood, and moving out again as carbon dioxide. Feel gratitude for these life-giving organs and the elements at work within your body. Bring your attention to your head, your eyes and ears and mouth and nose, your brain, your sense organs, and your data processor. Feel its power and its memory. Feel gratitude for all that your head holds. It might feel heavy, or it might feel stuffy or confused. Send love to your head and all that it does for you. And finally, bring attention to the crown of your head, the very top of your bodily self, your 7th chakra, the place that touches the element of air. Feel gratitude for your higher self, your elevated being. Feel connected to the air and the other elements around you as we settle into this 7 minutes of stillness and silence, reverberating with a sense of gratitude. I'll call you back with the singing of the bowl. to call on the directions. So I'll be over here in the east. I invite you to rise in body or spirit, facing this direction, the east. It'll be a call and response, and your response will always be welcome, a spirit of the blank, depending on which cardinal direction you're facing. So turn to the blowing east. Spirit of the east, home of the rising sun, we welcome you into our circle this night. Spirit of the air, be with us tonight. Welcome, Spirit of the east.
I'm here at the south. Can you hear me?
Yes.
All right. Turn to the blazing south. Spirit of the south, spirit of the noonday sun, we welcome you into our circle this night. Spirit of fire, be with us tonight. Welcome, Spirit of the south.
Turn to the watery west. Spirit of the west, spirit of the failing light of the setting sun, we welcome you into our circle this night. Spirits of the water, be with us tonight. Welcome, Spirit of the west.
Turn to the frozen north. Spirit of the north, spirit of the star-strewn midnight sky, we welcome you into our circle this night. Spirits of the earth, be with us tonight. Welcome, Spirit of the north.
And turn to the center, to the fire. Spirit of the center, spirit of life itself, we welcome you into our circle this night. Spirit of life, be with us tonight. The directions are called, our circle is cast. Welcome, Spirit of the center.
As today is the beginning of winter and the slow return of the sun, it has long been our tradition to shout our welcome into the night with a full heart and a full voice. Is everybody ready? Yes. On the count of 3, let's shout, welcome winter. 1, 2, 3. Welcome winter!
Welcome winter indeed. We now release the directions. Thank you, east, south, west, north, and center, for being with us tonight. We release you from this circle. Our circle is now open but never broken. Merry meet, merry part, and merry meet again. Let's enjoy some hot cider and get the bonfire going.